So here I already have the nails prepped, and I am just gonna go ahead and apply. So I am applying a red acrylic, and I will leave it down below. I didn't really show it here, but I'll list everything down below. On the ring finger, I will be applying a gold flame, and it just comes like in a sticker, and you basically just peel it. And I'm having a hard time peeling this because I have no nails. So you basically peel it off like this, and you just apply it to the nail. It's kind of like a sticker, and you want to make sure it is well put down. If not, it's gonna look bubbly or weird, so make sure it's flat. And then just kind of even it out with your fingers. And you would normally do this on a clear tip, but she prefers this kind of natural tip color just because she works a lot and she works with like grease and oils and all that. So this is better for her, but it does look way better on a clear nail. So after you make sure that everything is set down, you go ahead and you encapsulate the nail with clear acrylic. And make sure you don't make the acrylic too thin, because when you file, you will probably file out the flame. So make sure you get a little bit of thickness. So there's people that can do a one ball method. I usually do multiple balls just because I like to encapsulate every single thing. So first I go on the top and the bottom, and then I make sure I get the sides too, because when you file the nails, you don't want to file out the real nail. And here is where I'm talking about that I get the sides. I know a lot of people don't really do the way I do it, but this is just the way I've done it for years, and I never have any type of problem with lifting or anything. I make sure that every single part is covered with acrylic. So with this type of nail where you encapsulate anything, I usually look on the side and then make sure it's thick enough. And if it's ready, then I just go ahead and move on to the next nail. So now I'm going in with the red, and I usually tend to do a thin layer of this just to give it the color, and then I usually encapsulate, so that's where the thickness comes from. So now we are just going to encapsulate the red with a clear, and I try to do this in sections because once you put monomer on that red, it will kind of stain like you see down there on my napkin. So I'm trying to do this slowly so I won't get it all over her fingers. Of course you guys are in a faster motion, but if I ever did your nails, you know I'm kind of really slow and detailed, so yeah. Now I'm going to put another flame. Again, you just take it off the paper, and yeah, this is pretty hard, so if you have some tweezers, use those instead. So like I said before, you just stick it on and then try to like even it out with your finger. If you rub it, it kind of stays flat. So the top part is too long. I'm just gonna cut it off with some scissors. And then don't worry about if the sides are too long or anything else on the bottom because you're gonna file that away anyways. So just make sure it's straight, and that's what really matters. Again, we're just going to encapsulate. Try to get this thick enough so you won't file it off later. So now I am moving on to the thumb again, just a thin layer of the color. Make sure you clean your edges really well so you won't have any lifting or water damage. So now I am just doing the other hand, and obviously this is a time lapse. I really wish I could do nails this fast. I would make a lot of money. So this is the end result. And now we are going to file. So the first thing that I do is go under the nail. Sometimes I use the file, sometimes I use my finger, as you see right now. The first thing that I do is go under the nail to separate any acrylic from the skin. Filing under is really important. It's more important than filing the sides because that's what's going to give the shape of the nail. So I just go ahead and do that to all 10 fingers. So I am now done filing, and now I'm going to take this cuticle bit and I am just going to go over the cuticles just to separate any acrylic that I might have gotten on the cuticle or close to. This prevents any type of lifting and it makes the nails look more even on the top. After I am done with that, I am going to use a safety bit and I am going to file the nails on the top, the left, the right, the middle. Make sure you get every single part of the nail. If you are not yet comfortable with using this, you can use a hand file and you'll get about the same results. It's just more work, but if you're comfortable with the drill, you can use a safety bit so you won't cut people like the one I'm using. And you can go a moderate speed, you don't have to rush. So now we are going to buff the nails, and this is just going to get rid of any lines or imperfections that the drill might have left. And now we're going into the fun part, which is rhinestones. So she decided to just add some red ones where the flames are. And I am using a dotting tool to pick them up. I do recommend something else. This is kind of hard to pick them up, but my crystal katana needs a new tip, so this is what I'm gonna have to use for now. And to apply the rhinestones, I'm using some nail glue. This is not usually what I use, but I ran out of glue. And it is the holidays, so I am pretty busy. I don't have time to go buy one. So this will do just fine. And the crystals that I'm using are Swarovskis. And I'm not sure what size they are, but I got them at Michael's. So I am pretty much doing the same thing to the other nail, and today this is all she wants. So I am using today's gel top coat, and this is the one that I always use. It's my favorite. It doesn't peel, doesn't crack. I don't have any type of problems with this. So I am just applying it to every single nail. If you do get it on the skin, make sure you clean it off. You don't want this drying like that because you don't want your customers coming back when it peels off. Excuse my little ghetto setup, but we do what we have to do up in here. So while the other hand is drying, I just go ahead and do the other hand. And I usually put 60 seconds. You can put less or more. This is just what works for me because my customers sometimes don't put their hands in there right. So it's just the perfect timing for me. Then I go ahead and put the other nail in. And I did the ones with the rhinestones last because I wanted the glue to dry. So you basically just go around the rhinestones, don't get it on the rhinestones, and you just go ahead and cure that for 15 seconds. So after they cure the nails, I touch them to make sure they are dry. And I go ahead and apply some cuticle oil and rub it in. And I just go ahead and do this to all 10 fingers. So this is the finished set. If you want to see this, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Laura Do Nails. And I hope you liked my video. Make sure you subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Bye.